avoid gluten like the plague. I like CeraVe salicylic acid cleanser as well. Hello guys, hello. Introduce yourselves. Welcome to day 4 of the Hair Growth Revolution. And today we're going to be talking about all things length retention. So if you're someone who has been stuck at the same length for years, if you've just, you've tried every product, you've tried every routine, you're frustrated and you're just like, what is going on with my hair? Then this is the live for you, because we're going to be deep diving into length retention and why it's so important for growth. Just do my pin comment. Sorry, I really should be like pasting this in my notes beforehand. There we are. So let's go straight into it. So if you guys are wondering where I'm actually getting this content from, it's from my brain, yes, but I am reading almost verbatim sometimes from the Hair Growth Masterclass. So if you're someone that has been on the fence about trying to invest in your hair, which I think is one of the most prized assets you can have, then this is for you. I'm literally reading it for verbatim. You guys are getting like 3 little snippets, but honestly, all that I'm saying and so much more is in this masterclass. And if you don't know already, the masterclass is the ebook that we just launched on aminonaturals.com, and it's going to be out at the cheapest price of the year. Okay, so right now we're having a 25% off sale, and even on Black Friday, it's not going to be this cheap. And the masterclass, thankfully, has unlimited stock, but our products, we're having a bit of a crisis. I know sometimes it appears okay on the website, but internally, stock is flying and we are trying to make demands meet. So you're going to hear it here first. I don't want to hear complaints in a day from now when you're like, where's the stock gone? You heard it here first, but that's fine. Let's get straight into it. So length retention. If you've ever said to yourself that your hair is not growing, I want you to, by the end of this live, get to a point in which you just don't believe that anymore. Because quite frankly, the concept of your hair not growing, it's just not a factual statement whatsoever. No matter how bad your genetics are, even no matter how bad you're detangling your hair, whatever it is, your hair is always growing. And if you're not seeing any length, it simply means that your hair is breaking off faster than your hair can retain length. That's all that it is. So I need you to throw that concept in your mind in the bin. Your hair is always growing. And what we're going to be focusing on this live is, of course, the reasons to which why, your hair is, breaking off, and then solutions to fix that. So why is it then, if you were to look at a group of 10 people and like 3 were black, maybe 3 were Asian, 3 were white, and there was one, I don't know, purple person, whatever. I almost certain that all of the white people, all of the Asian people, and then maybe like one black person, if you're lucky, would have quote unquote healthy hair, but the others would look totally normal, right? So why is that in our culture, like having someone who has long, healthy, natural hair is such a like grand phenomenon? I'll let you ponder on that for a second. Because I do believe that, of course, there are genetics that are in place that, for example, when you just look at the hair cuticle, so if you were going to take a piece of hair, cut it in half and put a microscope on it, you would see the difference in cuticles from an Asian person, from a white person, from a black person. Asians tend to have thicker cuticles, white people tend to have slightly thinner, and then we tend to have the thinnest. But of course, this all depends on your porosity and all things like that. And if you haven't watched yesterday's live or the one about porosity, then you're really going to be missing out on key knowledge gaps. So I would recommend, if you're trying to catch up, go ahead. I've posted YouTube links to every single one of these lives. These are all being recorded on YouTube, and you can go ahead and stream them totally free of charge. So as I was saying before, as Black, ethnic, we tend to have thinner cuticles, but that doesn't mean that our hair cannot thrive. In actuality, I truly believe that the reason in which we, as a Black community, sometimes fail to have like thriving hair is because we just don't understand it. Quite frankly, it seems as if like, because we've had this whole, I would say, mass societal brainwashing that black hair just isn't beautiful, we have got quite lazy when it comes to understanding our hair for ourselves. And as a result, you've just seen the generic population within the black community, just hair that's just not thriving. I mean, you will see, of course, people with beautiful hair, but it's almost like a phenomenon. Whenever I go out and I show my hair, I'm almost always stopped. Like, oh my gosh, is that all your hair? Is that all your hair? Like, that shouldn't be an odd thing. It should be very normal to see a black lady walking down the street with super long hair. That is what I'm aiming for 2050 to look like if this project goes live. So yes. So the things I want to cover is what really is causing your hair breakage. Because at the end of the day, I can give you ways in which to speed your hair growth, to make your hair stronger. But if your hair is breaking off at the end, it is totally useless. Like, it's such a waste of time for you to be using like hair growth oils or even strengthening treatments, and then your hair is literally breaking off. It's almost like you're wasting your money, and you might as well not even bother investing. So let's go into why your hair is breaking off in the first place. And one of the main reasons, hair breaks off very easily is because dryness. A lot of the times we do not know how to truly moisturize our hair because we don't understand our hair. This kind of goes back to my earlier point. When we understand our hair for ourselves, and then we're able to make a routine to enable it to be moisturized, we can then see length retention. Dry hair breaks, and how you tackle the dryness depends on your porosity. As I said, I mentioned everything you need to know about porosity on my previous live, but I will recap. But I strongly encourage, if you're just joining now and you haven't joined in previous days, go and watch the recap, because this is all great information that you're getting totally free. So depending on your porosity, that will kind of determine how in which you're going to tackle the concept of dryness. For example, if you're low porosity, you're going to look for products that have humectants like glycerin and honey, because they're going to help add moisture to your hair. You're also going to be using things like steam to open up your cuticles to allow the moisture to enter. You're going to make sure that you're shampooing regularly, because the more when you shampoo regularly and thoroughly, that's going to help cleanse your hair so that your hair is actually able to accept moisture. You do not want your hair to have excess buildup if you have low porosity hair, especially because if your hair has excess buildup, it's more likely to be dry and then breaking off. So with high porosity hair, with that kind of hair type, you need to do strengthening treatments, particularly protein. You need to ensure that you're using protein to replenish that kind of fragile and more easily broken hair type. And once you've done that, the hair strand will then be more enabled to accept moisture. So that's that. With dryness, you need to look at it in terms of your porosity. If you're low porosity, do steam treatments. If you're high porosity, do protein treatments. Are we there? Okay. So number one cause of breakage, dryness. We've solved that now because we know our porosity. And if you don't know your porosity, go ahead and grab the free book, the free hair growth guide. It has a little snippet as to how you can find out your porosity, but it's just pretty much explaining the float test. But the masterclass gives you like 4 different ways of testing for your porosity. So it's definitely worth the investment with the masterclass. And as I said, it's going to be the cheapest price of the year. It's the price of less than a meal for one in any restaurant. And yeah, so dryness is number one. The next reason people's hair are breaking unnecessarily is just purely brittleness and weakness. And this is kind of relating back to my first point, and it's kind of more targeted towards high porosity hair girlies, because if your hair is more brittle, more fragile, more weak, no matter what you do, whether you detangle gently, whether you do everything you need to do and your hair is still breaking off, then that is an issue. And I kind of covered this more so on yesterday's live when I spoke about alopecia and hair loss, and that live, guys, if you haven't watched that, you need to, especially if you're experiencing severe shedding, severe any kind of hair loss, you need to watch that live. But yeah, if your hair is fragile, whether it's due to excess inflammation because your body is in like a inflamed, position, whether you have eczema, whether you have joints that are hurting you, whether your bowels are so irritable, whether your scalp is very itchy. These are all signs of inflammation, and it can result in more fragile and more brittle hair. So that's the next reason. More fragile hair. The third reason is just the way in which we handle our hair. I think because we don't understand our hair, we have gotten into a routine, specifically in our community, in just the bad manipulation, bad detangling. Just, yeah, it's terrible. Especially when I see these combs. Oh, do I have the comb? Because I need to rant about this comb. I know a lot of people have been asking, oh, what else can I use if I don't use it? Anything else but this. But this comb, you can see some of my hair. If you want inches, okay, and you're using this comb and you do not know how to finger detangle, I'm fighting you, genuinely, because I don't want to see your hand touching this ever, 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 ever. Because you need to understand how to manipulate your hair safely. All this is going to do is rip your hair out, and then you're going to wonder, why am I not retaining any length? It's all in the way you handle your hair. You need to be gentle. You need to literally baby your hair. So that's another thing. Improper detangling. And the first live we did, I gave you a full demo as to how to detangle your hair. So you need to watch that live. And I also have a complete tutorial and demo in the masterclass. So that's something you need to steal today. So there's that. And in general, just over manipulation, the constant styling, the constant manipulation. Every day is a new hairstyle, which requires 5 different hair ties and then clips. And then you're wondering what's going on. The less manipulation, the better. Okay. So the next is just through shedding. In general, our hair strands shed about 50 to 100 strands a day. And if you are someone like me, for example, I don't detangle my hair unless it's on wash day. So sometimes people, when they're going through their wash day process, they will then think, oh, why is so much hair coming out? It's because you haven't combed or brushed your hair in 2 weeks, for example. And it may seem like it's a lot, but it's not in actuality. And the more you get used to washing your hair on a regular basis and seeing how much hair fall you get, and also using great products like the Tangle Slayer. How have I not mentioned the Tangle Slayer already? This is my baby. Of everything in the line, this is the most viral product because your hair will never feel the same. It is literally like a relaxer without the harsh chemicals. Like, it makes your hair feel like butter so that you can actually detangle your hair, and it cuts your detangling time in half. I've not met a person who's used this and thought, oh, it gives the slip. It's like okra. If you're Nigerian, you know what okra is. It's giving okra. So there's that. So the only time you need to be obviously worried is if you're having excess shedding. And as I mentioned before on the live yesterday, that there can be quite a few reasons why your hair is shedding more likely. And that kind of relates to my other point about being more brittle and weak. And that's due to inflammation. It can be due to stress. And a lot of the times women go through postpartum, the postpartum season. Like, I'm a mum of 2, right? And I've gone through postpartum twice. And you do find some women losing hair, specifically around their crown area. And that's mainly due to the hormonal changes during childbirth. However, I will say there are ways in which you can definitely prevent that, because when I had my first child versus when I had my second, it was a totally different situation. For my first, I didn't really lose hair. It wasn't until I did a really bad protective style, which is actually the next point. And I did a crochet for the first time, and that thing ripped my edges so bad. I said, absolutely no way. It ripped my edges so bad. But my edges literally grew back within 7 days using Follicle Fuel Pro Plus. Cheeky plug. But I say all that to say, by the time I had my next pregnancy, I was a lot more wired up around my nutrition, my routine, and everything like that. And I experienced pretty much no postpartum hair loss with my second pregnancy, which is kind of a weird thing, because you would think by your second child, you probably have less nutrients in your body. But I really made sure that my diet this time around was next to none. Like, my husband laughs at me sometimes when I eat, because it's like, Janet, avocado every day. I'm like, yes. Healthy fats every morning, okay? I need this blood sugar to remain stable. But yeah, that's another thing. So yeah, those are the main reasons, your hair can break off. So now we're going to look into how to tackle these head on. So of course, as I mentioned before, when it comes to dryness, you need to know your hair porosity. You can do the float test, but if that doesn't work for you, you can do they call the slip and slide test, where you take a piece of clean hair, take it from multiple regions of your head, and then flip it around. So if you take it from the root like this, imagine this is a hair strand. You take it from the root, you pluck it, you turn it around, you hold it like that, and then you kind of feel it. If it feels quite bumpy, you're more likely going to be high porosity. If it feels quite smooth, you're more than likely going to be low porosity. Okay? And then create a custom routine depending on your porosity. As I mentioned before, low porosity, focus on moisturizing treatments. Moisture, moisture, moisture. High porosity, focus on protein, 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 protein. It's really as simple as that. You can also do hot oil treatments if you're high porosity, and I have so many more tips when it comes to dealing with high porosity hair, because that hair type tends to be a lot more fragile. And if you're someone who hasn't retained length, you're more than likely going to be either high porosity or you're just not managing your hair very well. You're over manipulating it. So that's that. The next thing is to do stretched hair. And I know I do get a little bit of slack about this sometimes, because at the end of the day, I'm just going to recommend to you what truly works. I'm not going to recommend things to you based on politics. I'm literally going to tell you what's working because it's worked for me, right? And I truly believe that wearing your hair in a stretched state is a game changer. If this is the only thing you remember by the end of this live, is to make sure you wear your hair in a stretched state. And a stretched state ultimately means preventing your hair from shrinking up, because shrinkage is amazing, it's gorgeous, it looks great, but it is the devil of length retention. Shrinkage is the devil, quite literally, of length retention. Not because I hate my texture, but purely because I'm wise and I know how to manage my hair that it still looks beautiful and maintains length. So stretched hair, so anything that prevents your hair from shrinking. So I want you guys, as soon as you finish your wash day routine, put your hair in braids, twists, or blowouts. Either of those three. You must, if you seriously want length retention, and I'm talking for my type 4, especially girls. If you're a type 4 girl, like myself, and you have that kinky, curly, that hair that wants to be the breaker of combs kind of hair, stretch your hair. Because if you don't, you're doing yourself a disservice. You need to leave your hair in a stretched state, because that helps you to limit the amount of tangles, therefore limit the amount of single-stranded knots, and therefore limit the amount of breakage. Because tangles equals breakage and then no length retention. So please remember this before the end of the live. Please keep your hair stretched, stretched, stretch, 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 stretched. Can I get someone to say stretch in the chat? Because you guys need to understand what, the passion I have. Keep your hair stretched. You're going to see, if you do a stretched hair routine for the next 6 months, I guarantee that you are going to see results. Okay, stretch. We've got some stretch in the chat. Thank you, my YouTube family. We love you over there. So that's that. The other thing is to do low manipulation hairstyles. And I'm talking... The thing is, let me not joke too much. Let me be very serious. So, low manipulation hairstyles, okay? Because sometimes we're just doing too much with our hair. There is no need for anyone to comb their hair every single day. It's not necessary for our hair type. If your hair is straight, it's perfect. It took me a very long while to get my mind out of the concept of straight hair, because there are certain mannerisms and things that we do with straight hair that just does not apply for natural hair at all. So combing your hair every day, error. You want the less manipulation, the better. I reserve detangling only for wash day. I don't ever detangle my hair unless it's in a blown out state. That's a bit different, but then I have more details in the masterclass if you want that. Just make sure you are keeping your manipulation to a minimum, absolute minimum, only detangle on wash days. Avoid harsh detangling every single day, because all you're doing is you're increasing the chances of you breaking your hair off. Because every single time this comb, even sometimes when your fingers glide through your hair, there is a chance of breakage. And if you're trying to play the smart game, if you're trying to, reach waist length in as short amount of time as possible, you're going to be wise. You're not going to be combing your hair every single day under the sun. You're going to just wait for wash day and then detangle, because then you're going to have the time and patience to sit there and be gentle and not rack your comb through it and then be frustrated. Save your detangling for wash day. And I'm going to go through like a ideal routine for length retention at the end. So make sure you wait for that. So that's that. The next thing is your nutrition. And this is something I know a lot of people don't want to be honest with themselves about. But at the end of the day, I have to tell you the truth. One of the most important things you will ever do when it comes to not only your hair health, but your health overall as a human being who wants to live a long and flourishing life is your nutrition, your diet, your lifestyle. How can I buttress this point, Chola? Because it's so passionate to me. And truthfully, guys, I was speaking with my husband yesterday because I gave up sugar, and I hope my friends are watching this live. I gave up sugar last year for a good 6 months. And then I went out. So by sugar, I mean added sugar. I still had fruit and stuff like that. I went out with my friends, my beloved friends, and I had a dessert for the first time in 6 months. Since that time, I think it was last year, I haven't been able to stop adding added sugar to my diet. So this is all to say, I'm trying to show you guys that I'm human, I'm normal as well. So as much as I'm preaching to you, I'm also saying to myself, and yesterday when I was speaking about nutrition, I felt very convicted, because I'm someone who is very good when it comes to giving up things. Giving up sugar was quite easy for me. But the moment I had it back, it was as if all of the cravings and the desires just came back, and it just took a control over me. And I hate that. I hate the fact that I can't just say no to this food. Why is it controlling me? That's scary to me. It's almost like a spiritual thing, right? And I know you might not think it's a big deal, but nutrition is such a big deal. We need to be accountable and be real with ourselves when it comes to our diet. We cannot keep eating processed food that has absolutely no nutrition, and it's even such a waste of money. It's not fueling your body, it's not fueling your mind, it's certainly not fueling your hair, and then expect hair growth. It's just it's just like we're in a psychosis. You cannot eat rubbish and then expect to be healthy. Because health is not just in terms of your physical health, being able to run and, be strong. It's also your hair health, your skin, your hair, your body. These things are all linked. It's not like your hair just sits on a shelf and then you can eat crap and then you can not exercise and then you can, fall things it's all working together. So your nutrition is so ideal. And I've officially given up sugar again. I didn't have any sugar tonight, and it will continue that way. So if my friends are watching and you invite me out and you dare to force me to eat dessert, I'm coming for you next. Because I'm praying a prayer, okay? Because I refuse to be a slave to food. I should be the one to decide what I eat, not my cravings. Because at the end of the day, food is fuel. It's either going to give you nutrients or it's going to steal nutrients in your body. It's going to make you in an inflamed state. It's going to toxify your body. So nutrition, we need to focus on our nutrition. Sugar is as addictive as crack. Yes, YouTube people are coming. Honestly, I'm coming for everybody's next, because sugar is the enemy. If you really understood the way in which these companies that create these food products, that is processed foods, all they are doing is adding sugar, adding junk, cheap food, and then throwing it to us and expecting us to eat it like we're dogs. Absolutely no way. They even in garlic paste, there's sugar inside. Even in Maggi, the seasoning, there's sugar. Why are they dosing us? I don't even want. I could speak about nutrition for days, but I don't want to go. It's already 8:26. Let's be moving on. So nutrition is so important. The next thing is protective styling. My darlings, if you're not abusing protective styles and you want length retention, I don't know what the fight you're trying to give, because protective styling is it's like the cheat code to hair growth, like length retention, because your hair is in the optimum state for hair growth because you're not combing it, you're not brushing it, you're just maybe washing it, especially if you have braids, and then putting some oil and leaving it away. So protective styling, but of course, not all protective styles are the same. Please don't do them too tight. Run away from stylists that like to pull at edges. Report them to the police if you have to, because these stylists, sometimes they be playing us. They be playing us. I know the style looks cute, but I want my edges. Gosh. So please protect the style, but try your best to find a good stylist. Please don't ask me for recommendations because I don't want to. I don't want to get in trouble. So that's that. And the last point, it kind of feeds into my point about nutrition. It's just inflammation, and we covered this in total yesterday. And ultimately, your lifestyle, your diet, the stress, the lack of exercise, all these things are linked more than you think, and they're affecting your hair growth in ways that you could not imagine. So if there was ever a time, the time is now to be accountable to yourself and take stock of your life. You need to know if you are actually living a healthy lifestyle, not only for your hair, but because your future generations truly are counting on you to make healthy choices. If you want to continue to be around for your children and your children's children, we need to take the stance now. And that means actually eating well, exercising, removing stress from our lives, not entertaining toxic people and relationships, and just living a good life. So that's the majority of my points. And I will go into what a typical good length retention routine looks like. So for me, I will just begin on wash day. And thank you for the love. I'm seeing a lot of hearts and I'm very, very grateful. So yes, a typical good routine would be, of course, wash day. I kind of spoke about the wash day experience, but typically if you're high porosity, you want to pre-poo. If you're not, skip to the next step. You then want to detangle gently with, I should mention the products as I go along. So let's start again. Step 0, pre-poo with oil if you're high porosity. If you're not, skip to the next step. Detangle gently with water. Use your fingers only. I don't want to see this comb in your routine. Stop it. Stop it. Detangle gently. You then want to go in with a shampoo, one that cleanses but does not strip your hair of its natural oils. And if you have alopecia or any hair loss concerns, you want to go for the Root Revive Pro Plus. If not, Root Revive works just well. A word of warning, this is very potent. It's got great essential oils that stimulate the hair follicle to grow. So use it with caution, but there's Root Revive Pro, which is a much more gentle formulation. The next thing is you want to deep condition. Deep condition. If you are high porosity, you want to use this Herbal Silk Strength Revival Mask. If you are low, this Moisture Miracle Deep Conditioner. Okay? If you are low porosity, you want to sit with a steam cap for at least 15 minutes with this deep conditioner in. Once you do that, your hair is going to feel like butter. Butter, 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 butter. Then, we haven't finished. Bear with me. Just one more step really. Once you're out the shower, if you're high porosity, you want to use this leave-in and this oil to seal your moisture, because then it will last for at least 2 weeks. If you're low porosity, whilst you are still in that steamy shower, use this, because that's when your hair is more accepted to moisture. Use that. So once you're done with that, you want to then put your hair in a stretched or protective style, whether that be twists, plaits, cornrows, blowout, whatever it is. If you're doing a blowout, make sure you use low heat or heat protectant. I personally like using the Rev Air or the Dyson Air Straight. I also have other blow dryer routines on my YouTube channel. If you just type in Janet Davies blowout, you're going to see a few videos that come out. I use some cheaper tools, some more expensive tools, and you can pick depending on your budget. But the method in which you blow out your hair is very important. Once you've done that, so if you've done like a braid out, leave those braids in for at least like until they fully dry, and then you can release them, you can have it out. But I will say every single night, ensure you put it into like a nice little bun and put your hair in a silk or satin scarf and sleep very well, because you deserve that sleep. And then every 3-ish days, you can then apply a little bit more oil. I love the Kink Care or the Kink Care Pro Plus. And then you kind of repeat this process up until wash day. And then you repeat. And if you're doing a protective style, I would recommend that you wash your hair at least once a month, just to prevent the buildup that can accumulate and make it a lot harder to take down your hair. So that being said, it's 8:32 and it's question time. So how long are we going to take questions for, please?
About 15 minutes.
Okay, my boss has spoken. I got 15 minutes. So let's start with Instagram. Let's go. I'm going to give quick, short, sweet, quick answers.
Yeah. One sec, sorry.
Sure, I can take some from YouTube.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, so have I ever been a straight natural before? No, I have not. I guess you could call me a blown out natural, but I blow dry my hair maybe every other wash day. So maybe like every month or 2 months, I blow out my hair. Can Nicole A says, can some leave-ins cause breakage? Not to my knowledge. I mean, ours certainly doesn't. I wouldn't have thought a leave-in conditioner should moisturize your hair. So Syllabi says, I'm a weekly washer. How would you recommend blow out safely? Oh, if you're a weekly washer, I would recommend that you possibly blow out every other week, or at least every 3 weeks, just to kind of give your hair a break. You don't want to do anything too often. And I would recommend for the weeks in between that you do a braid or twist out, because what I try to do is I try to chop and change. I don't do the same thing over and over again. I chop and change, of course, depending on the weather and my routine. Miss says, nutrition is key. Giving up sugar is so hard. It's so hard. Sugar is a drug. It's addictive as crack, quite literally. So can we have an accountability group for us who are giving up sugar, not only for our health, but our health in general? Okay.
That's a good suggestion.
Accountability group, shall we? Should we do it, guys? If you want an accountability group in healthy eating and, looking after our hair, it's something we can do, okay? Coming for everybody's neck. Okay, so Elizabeth Emmanuel says, please, can I clarify my hair with ACV and Mid-to-Night Clay mixture instead of a clarifying shampoo? Yes, you could. You can clarify your hair with whatever you choose to, honestly, yeah. That seems like a good one. And the apple cider vinegar is great because it's pH balanced, and it helps to pH balance the hair, which helps seal the cuticles, especially if you're high porosity hair. And as I said before, all of our products are pH balanced, like mineral naturals too. So there's that. One more. Oh, Marilyn. Hello, Marilyn. She says wrapping her hair at night has brought back her edges, but I did also start working out more as well. Okay, great. Yes, honestly, exercise is also an amazing thing because it helps blood flow, especially to areas of your scalp which may need it if you are having extreme hair loss, because that blood is going to bring nutrition to your hair. Thank you. Thoughts on heat caps versus steaming? Truly, I think they are similar, if not the same. The concept is just to provide some form of heat to open the cuticle, and you can do that with steam, and you can do it with a heat cap. Okay, back to YouTube.
YouTube or Instagram?
Sorry, Instagram. I've completed the majority on YouTube.
Sandra Mendes.
Yes.
She mentioned that she's got a hair growth plateau.
Okay.
And she's asking, is the follicle fuel is the best for her kink hair?
So I'm going to challenge you, because I do not think you're going through a hair growth plateau. I think you're going through a cycle of breakage. So I want you to not only use follicle fuel, which is great for stimulating growth. I don't want you to stimulate growth and then for it to break off, because I'm going to be very honest with you. I don't want to sell you something and then you don't see results, right? So you want to use follicle fuel, but you also want to look at the points that I've mentioned today. For example, know your porosity. If you don't know your porosity, I guarantee you, once you've read my masterclass, you've learned it, and you find a routine from that masterclass, you're going to see results. So know your porosity, do stretch hair, and use follicle fuel. So yeah.
Emma Better 7, she says her hair itches a lot. How can she stop itching her hair?
Oh, so if your scalp is itching a lot, that is also a sign of inflammation. So I would recommend that you, of course, keep your scalp clean, ensure you're shampooing, and also using a light oil. You could also use kink care on your scalp as well, by the way, in case you're wondering. But you also want to make sure you're addressing certain lifestyle things, especially inflammation. So are you specifically stressed? Do you not have much sleep? Are you inactive whatsoever? Is your diet trash? Like, is sugar your best friend? Do you not cook one home cooked meal? These are all things you need to like ask yourself and be very honest and accountable with yourself to understand what the root cause is, especially when it comes to itchiness. Because a lot of the times our bodies are great because they signal things to us when we need it. So for example, if your scalp is itchy, it's probably because there's something happening inside your body and your body is just telling you through that flag. So please do a bit more groundwork into that beyond just the products. But yes, definitely shampoo and definitely use a good scalp oil.
Pierre Deli, she's asking what the order of the products you use for wash day low porosity.
So for low porosity, let's go. You're going to want to use the Tangle Slayer to detangle. You're then going to go in with a shampoo. So the difference between the Pro Plus and the regular shampoo truly is just that the Pro Plus has essential oils, which is so good for stimulating hair growth. But if you do not have alopecia, then the Root Revive is perfectly fine and works as a great shampoo to cleanse and strengthen your hair. So detangle, shampoo, deep condition with the deep conditioner. I should just leave this on the table, right? Use a good leave-in and then seal that in with an oil. And you want to pretty much do almost all of this from here. Okay, let me start. You can do this out the shower, that's fine, as long as your hair is wet. Then shampoo. And then this you want to do with a steam cap. And then do this whilst you're in the shower. Use the leave-in and the oil whilst you're in that steamy environment to ensure that your hair is able to absorb moisture. I'll just hold them right here in case you want to take a screenshot. Go ahead.
All right. Jazz asked, what are you eating that is different?
Ooh, I like that. Okay, so I need to post a lot more about what I eat. So I will just describe to you a typical day when I'm being on my best behavior. And I would wake up and I would have maybe like a quarter of an avocado, because I used to do a lot of fasting when I was trying to lose all that mum weight. But now I'm at a point where I'm just in maintenance. So when I wake up, I really want to balance my hormones. And the way in which I do that is by eating healthy fats. So you could take like a spoon of coconut oil, you could eat some avocado. I think that's the avocado driver. Yeah. You should relax his body. Get out. So yes, I wake up and I eat an avocado, like at least like a quarter, because I don't really have a great appetite in the morning, if I'm honest with you. So I do that. I'll go to the gym and I'll come back and I will basically eat eggs. I'll eat like eggs, maybe like 3 eggs, depending on how hungry I am. I'll eat some plantain or some sweet potato. I alternate between those. And then I'll have more avocado and then some sauerkraut, because that's a good fermented food, which helps with your to have a diverse gut bacteria. And then I will also eat like a plate of spinach with some like date syrup, salt and pepper and chili dressing. And that will be breakfast. Then for lunch, it really just depends. But maybe a lunch could be like salmon with more sweet potato, some mixed veg, and maybe some more sauerkraut or kimchi. And then for dinner, I will probably have, my dinner's not really dinner. I basically just have like a big bowl of Greek yogurt with some berries and some date syrup. And if I can find a no added sugar granola, then I'll eat some granola. So that's what I typically eat in a day. I will also drink plenty of coconut water, which I don't have, but I try to drink raw organic coconut water as well. And then, in my Greek yogurt, there'll be chia seeds, there'll be hemp seeds as well. Also healthy fats, minerals. Oh, I forgot as well. As soon as I wake up in the morning, I'll have some water and I'll sprinkle some Celtic sea salt in it as well. And I'll also drink that throughout the day as well, because that helps with electrolytes, which helps you to be moisturized, because moisture is also very important, not only for your hair, but for your body, because your body needs to make blood. And for your body to make blood, it needs water. And sometimes when we drink water, we don't actually get moisturized. We just drink the water and it kind of goes out. So if you're someone who like drinks water and immediately you just need to use the toilet, you probably aren't actually absorbing the water into your cell. It's just kind of like passing through you. And the way to help you to actually absorb that water is to use electrolytes. So things like Celtic sea salt, because it contains the highest amount of trace minerals. Another good salt is also Himalayan pink salt, but Celtic sea salt has the highest amount of trace minerals. So yeah, that is my typical what I eat in a day.
Mandu Pandu. Do
Yes.
you use the Rev Air with oil on your hair?
I use the Rev Air. I apply leave-in, I use the Rev Air, and then I go in with the oil after. So leave-in, Rev Air, which I don't have with me right now, and then oil after. Yep.
What products do you recommend for braids and extensions?
So if you have braids and extensions, I would recommend you use the Root Revive shampoo to where am I? Here I am. Use the Root Revive shampoo to shampoo at least every month. And I think you should like as an absolute maximum, you can keep your hair in for like 6 to 8 weeks. And I say 2 to 8 because sometimes I can be lazy as well. So I'll allow you guys for that. But at least 3 to 4 weeks shampoo, and you can apply a little bit of leave-in and a little bit of oil. So do that on repeat, and that's going to prevent all that build-up. Because you know when you have like added hair and then it kind of grows out, and then you have that line of demarcation where your hair meets the added hair, that place is so sensitive and can cause a lot of breakage if you don't take it down safely with a bit of oil. Or you can prevent it altogether by making sure you wash your hair whilst you are having braids. Yes. Any more questions before I jump back to YouTube?
What advice do you have for those who swim weekly?
If you swim weekly, you can definitely wash your hair every week. And the reason I say every 2 weeks, because I know a lot of people, based on their lifestyle, they just don't have the capacity to wash their every single week. But weekly washing it is also perfectly fine. Obviously, so long as you're doing nice low manipulation hairstyles. And making sure you're deep conditioning every single wash day, even if it is weekly. The deep condition doesn't have to be for like 15, 20 minutes. You can do like a 10-minute deep conditioning whilst so you can obviously start your wash day process, put the deep conditioner in, and then just wash your body as you normally would, and then rinse the deep conditioner out, and then apply the leave-in oil. So that way you're able to do it within your shower routine, and it's not like an added extra that you have to do. So even if you are low porosity, you can still steam your hair in a steamy shower whilst you're washing your hair. Yes.
What do you recommend for those with chronic inflammation?
Okay.
What products?
I'm going to recommend you products, but I'm going to challenge you to be accountable to your lifestyle, because with natural remedies, the way in which they work is with your body, and you also need to be on the journey of reducing the inflammation in your body as well as using products, because natural products aren't like what you would get from a doctor. Because I don't hate medicine. I just have a strong opinion on it because anyway, let's not go there because I could be here talking forever. But natural products, they're great because they don't have any side effects. But what I would recommend for you, especially if you have excess inflammation and perhaps excess DHT levels, and DHT is the more potent form of testosterone that causes hair loss. It literally targets hair follicles and causes them to die. So, what you want to look for are DHT blockers, things like amla, rosemary oil, peppermint essential oil, pumpkin seed oil. Those are all items or products, in Follicle Fuel Pro Plus. The Pro Plus version has all of these items, and that's going to help to reduce that DHT overload, specifically in your scalp, because that's what those great ingredients do. But I'm going to challenge you to look at your diet. Look at your diet. Go through it with a fine-tooth comb. Stop fooling yourself thinking that you can eat your way into health with bad food. Okay, I'll stop there. I digress. Yes?
Yeah, a lot of people, with good comments about like your replies.
Okay.
Using the shampoo. They like how deep you've dove into the conversation. It's so good.
Okay, I've got questions.
Thank you for replies as well.
Thank you so much, guys. Thank you.
Someone is asking, how much is this one? You need to be specific. It says Lion Simon, something Simon. Just ask, you need to be specific. So how much is this one? Or just ask it to go to the website.
Please go to our website at ominuraturals.com. Everything is listed, and depending on your location, it will come up with the correct prices. But yeah, everything's on our website. It's all there. I'm going to go to YouTube if that's okay. Yeah, so on YouTube, I sea salt to my water too. Oh, hey, Brittany J. Oh, that's really good. I'm glad I'm the only one, because sometimes my husband looks at me like, why are you putting salt? Anyway, someone says, what if we don't have a Rev S? So I have videos on my channel using different devices like that you can use. Just make sure that you watch these videos and find out the way in which I blow dry my hair, because the method is so important. Yeah, so Sarah Boredom says, hi, can you steam with herbal salt? Yes, definitely you can, especially if you're low porosity. 15 minutes is more than enough. Rebecca P, do we ship to the US, Shola? Do we? Yes, Rebecca. We are coming to the US by God's grace very soon. Because physically, because we love you guys too much. We ship to the US, but we will want to. Yeah, like majority of our customers are from the US, and we really need to go and physically see you, shake your hand, hug you, like everything. Have a pop-up shop, yeah. Marilyn said, hi, porosity hair oil recommendations. I would recommend Kink Care Pro Plus. So do I have Pro Plus? I don't think I have Pro Plus with me. No. So Kink Care Pro Plus, because it's got great herbs and a few more oils that help to strengthen the hair. Someone asked, I was going to ask, what do you use if it's just a regular blow dry? So when I use a regular blow dry, what I do is the tension method, because that's going to minimize breakage. What you're going to do is hold onto your hair whilst it's still wet, and hold on to it with a regular blow dryer and just kind of blow it out in that way. Because sometimes when you use that comb attachment, you're constantly combing, as I said, over manipulation, breakage, tangles, knots, no length retention. So tension method. And I have tutorials on how I blow dry my hair. So frustrating that naturals point to a Reva, lol. Yeah, so I have different methods. Oh, Christina said her order just arrived, so excited. I'm excited for you, girl. Yes, let's get this hair growth. Oh, yes, it's a good question. Bridget says, do you recommend we change our shower head to prevent hard water? Yes, yes, yes. Because what will happen is when you have soft water, it's not only going to benefit your hair, it's going to benefit your skin, and you need to use less product. You're going to need to use less product. That means you actually save on products in general. So someone who has hard water may have to use twice as much, for example, shampoo just to get the same foaming effect. So soft water is chef's kiss. I have a soft water filter for my whole entire house, but obviously those things are very expensive. And honestly, getting a shower head filter for your shower, I think is more than enough. Yes, so please, if you can, change your shower head filter to filter that soft water. Spread the gospel said she received her second order today. Thank you so much. Honestly, it means the world to me that you guys actually invest in us, because we actually take this so seriously. Like, we're so passionate about empowering you to take your hair growth to the next level. Because we don't want to just, give you products. We want you to truly understand your hair for yourself and create a routine that works for you and see inches. We are very results driven. Go ahead.
Oh, someone just asked that her daughter's hair dries out fast. Mm-hmm. How often should she moisturize it per week?
Per week. So you should only need to moisturize during wash day. Our products, the moisture in our products, you don't really need to be adding much besides maybe just like a little bit of oil, maybe every 3 days. But truly, if, for example, you use the deep conditioner, you use the leave-in after and put an oil, you don't need to touch your hair for like at least a week and a half. Like, genuinely, your hair should not be dry. Yeah, and if you have high porosity hair, make sure you're using a protein treatment. But also, once you put that leave-in and oil, put your daughter's hair in like braids or twists until it dries to allow her hair to absorb it better. Go ahead.
TikTok.
TikTok. Oh, how can I? The TikTok app is very scary to me because I'm very much a millennial. Someone says, will you come up with a gel type of thing for a slick look? Yes, by God's grace. Continue to pray for us. There's just a lot of things happen, but new product development is definitely on our radar. La Flame says, do you recommend spray water? Yes, of course. Especially if you don't want to go to the shower and like detangle your hair, you can definitely spray water. Any other questions?
If not,
yeah. Okay, so we have to wrap it up. Okay. Oh, thank you. K.11 says products are great. Hello from Panama. Thank you so much. Okay, one more.
Shout out to Simone.
Shout out to Simone.
Thrive Design. Amunda Pandu. They've been moderators, literally.
Really?
Out,
thank you guys who have moderated without me asking you. You're so
Sandra
sweet.
Mendez as well.
Sandra Mendez, thank you so much. Really, really appreciate you. Thank you so much for your support. I really, really appreciate it. Wow, that's so nice. Okay, one more question because I think it's quite important. Alan says, hi, I heard the answer about itchy scalp inflammation, but can I put something on it to help soothe? It's so itchy and sore at certain places. So when it's sore at certain places, that is almost a guaranteed telltale sign that inflammation is happening. So I would recommend Follicle Fuel Pro Plus. Or if you're looking for something a little bit more gentle without any essential oils whatsoever, you can also use Kink Care Pro Plus. And again, these products are flying off the shelves. Even for me to have display items here, it's a miracle because we're struggling to even maintain what we have in our warehouse. And once they're gone, please don't shout at me because I've tried to tell you guys that things are moving fast because this sale is the biggest we're going to have. We're not going to have a discount this much, even for Black Friday. So if you're catching it at this point, you're getting it at the best price. So I say all that to say thank you guys so much for joining. This has been another amazing day interacting with you guys directly. Again, we are so passionate about empowering you to have the knowledge to grow strong, healthy hair because it's so important to us that you actually have that knowledge and don't just come and buy products and don't get any results. We want you to see results. We don't want you to go another month, another year without seeing any change in your hair. So yeah, thank you guys so much, and I will see you tomorrow. So we are back again tomorrow, 8 p.m. GMT, 3 p.m. EST, and 12 p.m. PST because I know the clocks have gone back in the US. So yes, we are back tomorrow. And I'm going to communicate a bit more about what we're going to do because we're going to probably switch up a little bit because I've been talking for a lot and I talk about 1.5x. My mouth is dry and tired. But thank you guys. This has been 5 days straight of just being very blessed. So thank you guys. Love you and see you tomorrow. End stream and TikTok. Bye, guys.